Greetings and bonjour from Paris, France. We are right here near the Louvre at a famous cafe that actually opens up the movie for the tourists. I'm on the hunt for Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp. We're gonna see if they get here in time, but y'all just stay tuned to Black Tree TV.
Elise, I know the police are watching you. We have to throw them off the trail. Board the 822 at the Gare de Lyon. Pick someone my height and build and make them believe it is me. Burn this letter. It is important you follow my instructions precisely. I love you, Alexander.
It's from him. Save that letter. Go in now, save that letter.
Daniel, fonce.
Miss Angelina Jolie, it's truly a pleasure and honor to have the chance to interview you and to be here in Paris, France to cover your wonderful, fun movie, The Tourist. Can you tell me, like, what was some of the more fun parts of shooting the movie, The Tourist?
I think, well, just being in Venice was amazing and felt like it was, you know, silly to be paid to go to work in such a beautiful place. And I loved working with Johnny, and he's really funny. And I think some of our best scenes were scenes where we tried to be very serious, and we ended up laughing so hard that we had to, that we wasted a lot of film, and we had to cut, and we kept screwing up. But we kind of hoped that goofiness would come across somehow in the movie. I'm Elise.
I'm Frank.
That's a terrible name.
It's the only one I've got.
Maybe we can find you another.
Okay. What brings you to Venice?
You read spy novels. I'm a mysterious woman on a train. You tell me what my story is.
Okay. I think you'd be a diplomatic attaché. Or maybe a girl from East Germany whose father's been kidnapped. And they're blackmailing you into stealing something for them. Probably a microfilm. There's usually microfilm involved.
What awaits me?
Trouble, certainly.
Danger.
Oh, yeah. You'll most likely be shot at in less than 2 chapters.
Is there a man in my life?
We'll have to wait and see.
You guys seem to have a great chemistry on camera, and I was surprised to find out that you guys just met for the first time. Such big stars. It seemed like you guys would have crossed paths before now. Yeah, no, it's funny. He and Brad met years ago, but we'd never met. I think it's because we both tend to not leave the house very much, so we're both kind of homebodies. Speaking of homebodies, I know that you made your home in the south of France. Did that play any role in you deciding to jump on this movie, knowing that it was going to be shot, you know, not too far from your home? Yes, I love the locations. Yeah. I'm a sucker for a good location, so. Right. Another thing I really enjoyed about the movie was your style, like those brown gloves with the little watch. And I'm not even a style person, but I was sitting there looking like... You are a style person, though. I noticed when you walked in. I thought, man, he's got cool style. Can you talk about the style a little bit and the dresses and everything else that you was wearing in the movie? Yeah, we had a great designer, and we wanted to do something that would be a bit of a throwback to those old movies, but then still be, not feel too prim, have something sexy about him and fun. But it was odd for me at first. I felt like a little girl dressed up in my mom's clothes, you know, because it was so dressed up, and I got the gloves. My gloves are always dirty because I'm just messy and. Everything was always, but I eventually figured it out, and hopefully it looks cool, but... Yeah, it does. How about working with the director, Florian? Florian's amazing. He's such a smart guy. He speaks so many languages that you'd go to Italy, he'd speak fluent Italian, you'd go to France, he speaks fluent French, he has a German crew, he speaks German, it drives you crazy how intelligent one person can be. Wow.
and a really great guy, and he was there with his kids also. So it was just a very family-oriented production.
Are you bilingual yourself? Do you speak any other language?
I speak a little bit of French.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
my kids speak better French than I do.
Well, that's not bad. Bad thing for them. I wanted to get a little bit away from the movie because I know that you did some work in Haiti, and I recently also went to Haiti a couple of months back. One of the things that hit me is I felt so helpless, you know, trying to help. It just seemed like such a daunting task to rebuild that country. Can you tell me a little about your emotions, like when you're in situations like that, when you're working with these charities, and it just seems, you know, so daunting? How do you, you know, keep your spirits up?
I identify with the feeling. The first few times I went to some countries, I got so, 10 years ago, I was so overwhelmed by the man's inhumanity to man, by poverty, by how much people live without and how much suffering there is in the world. And I did feel completely overwhelmed and just cried a lot and felt frustrated and angry. And then I kept running into people who were actually in that situation, and they had their heads held high, and they were saying, we just can't cry. There's no time to cry.
Right.
And so then you think, well, who am I to be driven by my emotions? I have to take her lead, this woman who's lost her kids, and there's no time to cry.
Right.
So you try to think about just some solution, something, and then you're at least taking a step forward. So in Haiti, for example, I've been working a lot with a lawyers program. I'm trying to work on building the justice system, because I think as I've traveled around a lot, there's so many different programs, but the lack of understanding of the law that actually exists, the lack of application of the law on behalf of the children and women, and you know, everything really comes down to housing. So to try to kind of enforce that and support that. So that was one thing. But it does feel overwhelming.
Well, I thank you for all the great movies you've given us, but I really thank you for all the work that you're doing around the world. Please continue to do it, because people are watching and being inspired by your work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you do too. I hope to run into you again.
I will.